Hey there. How's everybody doing? It is that time of day here in Korea. It is 8:01 p.m. I was about 55 seconds late because I was at the beach all day, running around like a madman, and I just got in the door, ran over here, locked the dogs out, and sat down. So I am Legal Vices, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We went a whole day without a verdict. Today is day yeah, you can call it day 3, but it's more like day 2 of jury deliberations. Glad to see you all here. Glad to see you joined in. Today, there hasn't been really any big development. So what we basically wanted to do was kick it off with just going over some articles to see what people are saying and doing in relation to the case. And just sort of we can talk about this, see what all your thoughts are. But let me adjust this microphone here real quick. Alrighty. And hey, so welcome to everybody that's already here. Welcome, mods. You guys are awesome. You saved my life yesterday, and I hope you'll save my life again today. Yeah, like I said, we got monetized yesterday, and that was a big surprise. And we got some bot notice as we went through. But we got that taken care of. So now what we're doing is we didn't put us on slow chat, but it is a subscribers only chat, unfortunately. So join in on the conversation. All you got to do is hit the subscribe and the like. We didn't have to hit the like, just subscribe and wait 5 minutes and then you're in. Because we kind of had like some dickheads and some bots kind of ruining things yesterday. So we're good. We're good now, and we're gonna take it off. And again, all that we do have the mods here. They know what they're doing. Things are cool. The mods are more just to kind of keep everybody in check. And by that I mean to get rid of the people that just want to spam slurs and porn links and things like that. Yeah, we don't need that. We're all adults here. We can all behave like adults, and I mean, you can be a dickhead, or you can just be like an asshole dickhead about it. So here we are to start off with. Again, please like and subscribe. We're having a good time here, and join in on it. Join in on the chat. And to start us off, wow, we've Cerebral Palsy Biker. Good to see you here today. Congratulations, Legal Vices. I pledged to you 5 million. Thank you so much for your pledge. But donated $5. They're same thing. Yeah, graduations are 18,000. Thank you. Yeah, they're basically the same thing. I accept pledges, and I accept I accept the donations as well. I won't beg for the donations, but that option is here if anybody wants to take advantage of it. Please feel free. I certainly won't stop you from doing it. So hang on here. I'm just bringing the mic down a little bit so we can just kind of bringing down the gain here so we don't have to deafen everybody's ears. All right. So there we are. How was everybody's night? Was everybody disappointed that there wasn't a verdict yesterday? I kind of was. I thought there'd be a verdict by about 3 p.m. is where I had it pegged. Baseball Justin 5. Oh my God. Thank you so much for the donation. Cute little kitty there. Got the looks like a mountain lion. Good morning from Illinois, USA. Glad to hang out and pass the time. Congrats on the channel. Better than Ricada. Oh, I seriously doubt that. I'm not fit to unbuckle Ricada's boots. I'm just glad he keeps me around for whatever he keeps me around for. So yeah, but I definitely appreciate the compliment. So again, here we are. We're a couple of hours away from court resuming again. I think the longer they go without a verdict, the worse it is for Johnny Depp's chances. I'm surprised they've gone this long. Again, we don't know what they're doing. Maybe they settled this thing yesterday with who wins and who loses, and maybe they're spending the day yesterday and today talking about how much they get. We just don't know. We don't know how close they are to a verdict. We don't know if they've reached a decision on who wins or loses. We don't know if they're arguing about money. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what they're doing. So all we can do is sit back and wait. And the court has said that they will not give less than an hour's notice of the verdict. So we'll know at least an hour in advance when the court is going to announce their decision. So after I finish, please, everyone, go jump in on someone else who's streaming the verdict watch, whether it's Ricada or Legal Bites or somebody else. I think Joe over at Good Logic is doing it. And whatever you want to call him, that umbrella guy, the umbrella man, the umbrella guy, whatever Elaine wants to call him today, I think he's doing the watch as well. There's quite a few people that are doing it, and I don't want to step on any toes. So I just kind of thought we'd ease into this by just kind of looking at what people are saying and get your comments on articles and things. Before we do that, we will look at Real Tryon here. Thank you so much for the donation. Annyeonghaseyo. Hi, guten tag, good morning, afternoon, evening. Greetings from Germany, and greetings to you in Germany as well. Thank you so much for the donation. I almost said pledge. That would have been funny. Baseball Justin 5 back in again. You have been a fun addition to the Ricada streams. Glad to have you. Here's to many more wonderful streams. Oh my God. Thank you so much again for the donations. I don't expect these things. I don't ask for them. And it freaks me out that people want to do this. When Kurt got cucked yesterday on Nick's stream, it was funny. Yeah, Kurt was a good sport. I mean, Kurt is a mad genius. He's one of those people that's subtly funny. He and Law of Self-Defense, Andrew, they're both subtly funny guys. And poor Kurt got cucked. I don't know if you saw it. It's all over Twitter, things in the law tubes on Twitter. We had a graphic up coming from Law and Crime, and Ricada just calls him Law and Cuck and whatever, and he had like a little cuck thing over their symbol, and as soon as he closed the screen, he forgot to take the overlay off, and there was like the big cuck circle on Kurt's head. So yeah, it was a certified. It was unfortunate that Kurt had to be sitting exactly where he was, but he was a good sport about it. Kurt's a great guy. He's fun. And Kirby Souls. Pledge from Sweden. Oh, that's not a pledge. That's a donation, my friend. Thank you very much for that donation. I do not think pledges and donations are the same thing, but if you want to pledge. If you want to donate, I don't mind that either. But let's jump into this first article. This is an interesting article that I think shows how the woke crowd, the social justice crowd, feed on each other. They eat each other. Woke and open and enlightened, that only means that if you happen to agree with whatever it is that the person is saying. If you don't agree with them, then you're fair game, basically. And that's what happened to this unfortunate lady. A TikToker who gave herself a tattoo of Johnny Depp's lawyers. She gave herself a tattoo of Camille. And the woke crowd is kind of eating her alive. And let's see why. So she's got this backlash from this. That's her tattoo she made there. I like that's the Camille objection tattoo. It says a TikToker who tattooed herself with an image of Johnny Depp's lawyer Camille Vasquez called the online backlash she's received insane. Jasmine Wolfe, a singer and songwriter from Canada, first posted the viral TikTok video of the tattoo to her account last week and has since amassed over 1 million views. Good for her. The 10-second video showed Wolfe, 27, preparing the design, which featured an image of Vasquez in the courtroom, along with the word objection on her left knee. During the 6-week trial, Vasquez gained attention on social media for a cross-examination of Amber Heard amidst rumors she was dating Johnny Depp, which of course is insane. She's got a boyfriend. And if she was dating Johnny Depp while the trial is on, that's a fast way to use your law license. That's a fast way to lose your law license. That just wouldn't happen. Representative for Depp later denied any romantic relationship, of course, because it never happened. So Wolfe told insiders that she chose the image of Vasquez after watching her cross-examination. Watching her cross-examine Heard. Depp, 58, filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Turd, 36, in 2019 after claiming her 2018 Washington blah, 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 blah. She countersued for $100 million. Honestly, my jaw dropped, Wolf said. I was so impressed and amazed by the confidence she maintained the whole time, talking about Vasquez. How unapologetically she pursued justice and trying to shine light on the mistreatment of somebody she believed had been abused, talking about Johnny. So here's a woman who is impressed by the strength of another woman. She's impressed by the tenacity of another woman. She's impressed by a woman who she believes is standing up for somebody that the woman believes has been abused. That sounds like a great thing to do. Wolf said the hand poke tattoo took around 1 hour to complete, adding to insiders Sophia Mitrokostas. Tattoo artists use a non-electric freehand needle and ink in order to achieve the method. Wolf told Insider that tattoo artists go over the image multiple times until they reach the desired depth, darkness and depth. So that's her Camille Vasquez tattoo. That's that she self-poked, like one needle poked. I mean, that's painful and pretty impressive. The viral video has attracted both positive and negative responses. Wolf told Insider that critics make assumptions about her and her beliefs based solely on the tattoo. Yeah, see, so you're woke, you're part of the group, you're part of the scene, as long as you agree, as long as you're agreeing with whoever is being critical of you. But you have a different opinion, you have a different idea or a different viewpoint than somebody else that's also woke, and then suddenly you're trying to be canceled. They're critical of you. They're criticizing you. The viral videos, okay, we got there. I was deeply upset from a lot of the things people were saying and assuming, Wolf said. Many people have made assumptions about my personal beliefs. They said that I'm advocating for abuse, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. They're advocating for this is a woman who admired another woman's tenacity, admired another woman's strength and ability to protect someone she believed was abused. But now the pro Amber wokelings that are refusing, obviously, to look at anything objectively, are seeing the tattoo of Camila Vasquez and not seeing the power and strength in it. They're somehow seeing that that's a woman advocating for abuse. I mean, how could another, I guess they could, but why would another woman be advocating for that? Why? I mean, that's just ludicrous, especially if we go on to read more about her story. Wolf told Insider she noted a strange, intrinsically sexist belief that men can't be abuse victims. So this is a woman who's agreeing that men can be victims. And somehow that makes her supportive of that type of behavior. I found it amazing to see somebody advocating for that and trying to bring justice to an unjust situation. Wolf said of why she admires Vasquez. The way Camille conducted herself was very powerful. I wanted to memorialize how I felt in that moment watching her. So this is a woman who admires this person and is trying to memorialize that, the power and the strength and the advocacy of Vasquez. So she gives herself the tattoo. To Wolf, the tattoo means more than a nod to the news story of the moment. I just wanted it to be a symbol of strength. I recently left an abusive relationship where I spent years suppressing my own voice and my own pain for the convenience of a narcissistic abuser, Wolf said. So to see somebody fighting back against that in such an impressive manner, I really took an inspiration from that moment. So this is someone who is a survivor herself. And she wants to memorialize an advocate that had the strength and the tenacity and the integrity to aggressively pursue justice for her client against someone who is claiming not to have done that and has been claiming that she is a victim herself. And so it's just this, I mean, it's sad that this woman here who survived this situation, who is a survivor of the same kind of thing, is now being pegged as someone who's advocating the DA against women. I mean, screw that. I mean, that just sucks to be her. So again, again, you don't want to base things on looks alone, but she, if you look at her, to me, she doesn't seem like she is towing the Republican line. She doesn't seem to be towing the conservative line. So I will assume that she is a liberal-minded, left-leaning, if not firmly in the left camp. But the left are eating her alive and basically canceling her history of surviving this kind of behavior. So that's what's been going on in that part of the news. Let's see here. Casey Leach, oh, thank you so much for the donation. Says, I don't think it was ever about winning / getting money. I think he wants his story to be told. He knew he would not get money from her. It really doesn't matter. Even without a win, he has won. I completely agree with you. And that's what I've been saying. I don't think I don't think he cares. If he would have done it any other way, I think if he would have gone out and started rebutting everything she said in public, if he started publishing articles and writing things online, then it just becomes a he said, she said. It just becomes the perpetrator of DA or SV using his star power and media to make her look foolish in public. But here in this trial, he gets to tell his story in a legal framework, in a court situation with witnesses under oath, presenting evidence, submitting evidence, and arguing the situation. He got his story out in a controlled manner. And I think that's what he wanted. Tribal Man 247, thank you so much. Out of interest, what motorcycle did you used to ride? Yeah, I don't have a motorcycle currently. The last one I had was I had two, a Harley Davidson Street Bob and a Vegas 8-ball. Great bikes. I loved them to death. And Juliet Alpha Yankee, thank you so much for the generosity. You are doing a great job. I have a friend living in Korea teaching English there. If I may offer a suggestion, get a sub to AdGuard and another ad blocker with this and get rid of those distractions for us. Yeah, like I said, this was all stuff I was supposed to be worrying about at least a year down the road. But somehow I got sucked into all of this and things went much crazier, much faster than I anticipated. So here we are. And I've got these wonderful mods behind the scenes here that I see here. They're taking good care of me and making me look less foolish than, than I do normally. And I greatly appreciate their services. And Cerebral Palsy Biker, another thank you so much. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think women and men can be victims of I think nice people usually get aid. And now I have to be more careful about the slinging the words around, monetization and all. Usually get aid. I know there's more to it than that. Yeah, obviously nobody is. I mean, there's no one who can say that there's no possibility they would be a victim. I mean, men and women both can suffer this. And that's, I think, one of the good things that's coming out of the trial is saying that men can suffer too. And another thing is that women who are true sufferers, who are true survivors, aren't putting up with shit from someone who is lying about it. I mean, there's no other way, just lying about it. And that's why she said it twice. Camille said it twice, once in her closing statement and once in her closing rebuttal. Her two end lines in both of those were iterations of, there are many, many women who have this story to tell, but this is not your story to tell. And I thought those were very, very powerful statements. Now, this next article is kind of is a doozy. It's not a news article. I mean, not that the last one was a news article either, but yeah, this one is from. Is this one I want to go to next? How crazy, how fast do we want to get? All right, we'll do a different. All right. We'll do the lesser of two evils first. And all right, let's bring this up and kind of expand the screen, get rid of all the ads. MSNBC. What does MSNBC tell us? Oh, sigh. MSNBC tells us that no matter who wins, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, America has lost. America has lost, no matter who wins. The jury has final say, but I'm less interested in whether Amber Heard is a liar and more interested in why so many people are invested in the idea that she might be. The fact that this person comes out and says, I really don't care whether or not she's a liar, is the problem. I mean, that is a stupid thing to say. And this author, who is the author of this? Liz Plank. Liz Plank, you're a fucking idiot. I mean, you're just a dimwit. I mean, that is the stupidest, most ridiculous thing to say. I mean, why would the fact that someone is lying on the stand, why someone who has $100 million lawsuit against someone lying, why isn't that repulsive to you? I mean, screw Liz. I mean, seriously, she sucks. And I didn't want to be too brutal, but yeah, I mean, screw her. She doesn't care whether Amber Heard is lying or not. She wants to know why we care. Because if you're lying and you're on the stand, you're defeating the entire idea of justice, of fairness. And you're taking someone else's story, which she's done a lot of times. She's taken a lot of people's stories and combined it into her story. And you're allowing someone to do this. I mean, opinion columnist, look for another line of job, Liz Plank. After weeks of contentious testimony, expert witnesses, and cross-examination, closing arguments in the defamation lawsuit over Amber Heard's Washington Post op-ed concluded on Friday. In her final statement, Heard became emotional. Well, she tried to be emotional. She tried to be emotional as she described being harassed, humiliated every single day of the proceedings, which were instigated by her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. Which were instigated by her ex-husband, Johnny Depp. Yeah, and if she is being harassed, which I'm sure she is, because there's some nut jobs out there, she shouldn't be getting harassed directly. I'm all for making fun of people in the public sphere, but to be sending them death threats and crap like that, which I'm sure she's getting. I don't quite believe the I want to put your baby in a microwave thing that she said she happened. But any harassment, humiliation, or threats that are coming during the trial have nothing to do with the trial itself. I mean, it's shitty if people are doing it and they shouldn't do it, but people are people. The jury is still deliberating, hopefully not for much longer. But the internet's court of opinion has already made up its mind. She is lying. I think most of us have come to that same conclusion. She's lying. While the TikTok hashtag I stand with Amber Heard has amassed more than 8 million views, justice for Johnny Depp is at 15 billion views and counting. 15 billion to 800 million. That should tell you how much people believe her. I don't even know what percentage 8 million is of 15 billion, but it ain't a lot. 15, that's a lot. As NBC reporter Kat Tenbarge noted, the internet simply wasn't built for a trial like this. Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was for. Some of the social media content slamming Heard has even, reportedly, been paid for by conservative websites. Evidence. Show me evidence. I don't believe for a second that it was paid for by conservative websites. Maybe, but I mean, by any reputable conservative organization, I would be skeptical of that. I don't believe that any reasonable or, what's the word I'm looking for? I know what it is in Korean, but I can't think of it in reputable. Yeah, there we go again. Would do that. So, okay, I'll give conservative websites, maybe some of them are. A psychiatrist who testified on behalf of Heard is facing a campaign of negative online reviews meant to sabotage her career. Again, I don't support that. That's a dumb thing to do. That's a mean thing to do. Don't go spamming Dr. Hughes's websites and her Yelp reviews and her medical reviews. I mean, that's not cool. Keep it in the court. Keep it in the public sphere. Don't go personally after these people. But it's revealing a lot more about us. Why our supposedly progressive culture suddenly obsessed with old school misogynistic tropes about lying harlots. Harlot is a good word. Harlot needs to be brought back into the lingua franca of the day. So what we're doing right now, what you and I are doing right now, is old school misogynistic trope about lying harlots. When did we go from believing women to cheering their humiliation? We should never have been at Believe Women. Danny, good morning from Utah. Always good to see a hometown face here. And while we're on it, hi from Norway. I was here when you hit your target. Gee, thanks. Norway's a great place to be, and they make some wonderful uskabetha. Yum, yum, yum. But today I'm not drinking because I drank way too much yesterday, and the weekend's just around the corner. But it's okay. So how did we go from believing women to cheering their humiliation? Again, I don't think we ever should have been at Believe Women, full stop. I mean, listen. It would have been better with listen to women and investigate. Listen to women. Listen to women and investigate. I can get behind that. But just believe someone, full stop, no evidence, nothing. I have problems with that. And then, the hashtag Me Too got way out of control, I think. And as we see here, someone was trying to weaponize Believe Women and weaponize hashtag You Too. And it backfired miserably. We don't go from believing women to cheering their humiliation. We go from listening to a liar and then cheering her humiliation at being caught lying to all of us. Armchair pundits and comedians have called the trial and its ensuing media circus fun. That's just from Saturday Night Live. I don't know how many people have said it's fun. It's a very interesting experience. It's a very it's a very good way of seeing what happens in courts. And I think all trials should be open like this. I think all trials should be streamed somewhere because as Americans, for those of us that are Americans, we have a fundamental right to access to courts. And I think all trials should be streamed, on YouTube or some other platform where anybody who wants to watch a particular trial can exercise their right to do so. So it's not fun. It's interesting. You get to watch. You don't normally get to see hearings and things in depth like this, and it keeps the honest people honest. The experience has been anything but fun for survivors. I don't know. There's quite a few survivors here in my chat, and y'all seem to be having fun with this and giving Amber what you consider to be her just rewards for this. So I don't know. Fun may not be the right word, but maybe you're getting I don't want to put words in any survivors or victims' mouths, but you all seem to be enjoying her downfall and being caught and called out and held to accountability for the things she's unable to prove and the things that are demonstrably ludicrous. This kind of voyeuristic and sensationalistic celebrity treatment further normalizes abuse. So calling out a liar on the stand, making fun of her for this stupid thing she's been saying, the unproven things, the things that are demonstrably proven to be false, misleading, duplicated, whatever, doing that normalizes abuse. Now, I think if you don't stand up against someone who is lying like Amber Heard is, I think that normalizes the situation and undermines victims of IPV especially when those happen to be women. Well, okay, Liz here just kind of, well, this isn't, yeah, this is Liz's article. She just kind of gave a little nod to the hint of the possibility that maybe men can be victims too. But yeah, letting Amber get away with this would be undermining the system and making a mockery of true victims. Yeah. Not even going to try to pronounce this person's name. And if anybody knows, let me know, because I can't do it and I don't want to mispronounce the name. An anti-violence advocate who helps communities prevent and respond to SA believes that the trial's reception is a symptom of a culture that still needs to be educated on the complicated realities of IPV. We need to show and encourage a better way to talk about people who commit and victims, she said. We do not teach people what DV is, so most are ill-equipped to talk about with the proper care and education needed to avoid upholding a culture of Yeah, I think she has a good point. I think we don't talk about it enough. We don't. Maybe the culture doesn't encourage women to come forward as much as they should. I don't know that it teaches women. The culture doesn't seem to be much about teaching women about having self-esteem, values, and strength to stand up to these things. I don't know if it's in the lack of education about it or if it's in the coolness of the reception of doing it. But I think there's a valid point in that part of the article where we don't teach people what it is, and so they're ill-equipped to deal with it. But I'll give her that. And before we get too far out of control, we'll take a quick little break here. Canis Dingus, oh my God, thank you so much for this incredible donation. That's much appreciated. Been enjoying your commentary over on Nick's stream. Glad to send some support your way. Seriously, thank you so much. Royal Sig 299, thank you so much for your donation as well. Shout out to Jeff Beck for supporting Johnny Depp. I'm sure this last weekend was incredibly therapeutic for him, and that's a good thing. Easy 007, thank you so much for your donation. The baby microwave story is stolen from a case in UK. Rooney v. Vardy. Tug tweeted about it the other day. Yeah, I've had even before Tug tweeted about it. I'd had several people from the UK tell me that. Baby 3ify, thank you so much. Hello from Wisconsin. Hey, cheese eaters. A huge thank you for giving us insight into the legal minds of this trial. And I love the green background. That's my wallpaper. I like the green wallpaper. Even though some of you in the chat have expressed your displeasure or distaste for my my green wallpaper. I like it, damn it. No name $2. Thank you so much. Thanks for vocalizing good sense in this ill world. We'll jump back into the article here, and then we'll pick up the ones we haven't got around to yet. I'm just kind of quickly starring these so I don't lose them. And again, this is like day 2 of monetization, so I'm still desperately trying not to suck at it. So bear with me, please, as we go forward with this. And mods, you guys are doing awesome. Thank you so much. And if those of you that are here, give me a like and a subscribe if you want to do so. And let me see the numbers go. I don't even know what my numbers are at this point. Let's do a quick number check just for giggles. That can't be right. Okay, we're at 18,896 at the moment. Yeah, let's see if we can get up to 19,000 in the next hour and a half. That would be fun. And just for giggles, we'll put up the counter up here over on the side where I can keep an eye on it just to see what happens. So thank you so much for everyone that has liked and subscribed. And if you haven't, please do subscribe and then jump into the conversation after about 5 minutes when it allows you to do so. And again, we had to go to the subscriber only chat because of bots and dickheads. The bad kind of dickheads, not the good kind of dickheads like some of you here in the chat. You're the good kind of dickheads. So moving right along here. Meanwhile, much of the online commentary about the Depp Heard trial contrasts sharply with the actual evidence presented in the courtroom. Okay, notice where she goes with this. Contrasts sharply with the actual evidence presented in the courtroom. Let's see if this stuff is the actual evidence presented in the courtroom of DA or SV against Amber Heard. Heard described more than a dozen experiences of violence, which Depp called insane and all false. Described more than a dozen experiences. Does describing something equal actual evidence presented? No. Was there any evidence? Was there any evidence to support these alleged incidences? Not a whole hell of a lot, and none that directly proved it. I mean, pictures of Johnny Depp sleeping does not mean he was knocking the hell out of her 10 minutes before that. Him rolling around in an airplane going, doesn't mean he was kicking her in the back 10 minutes before that. So yeah, no. Describing something is not actual evidence presented. While Depp described himself as a Southern gentleman who had a respect for women, texts Depp sent to Heard called her a worthless hooker. In others, he joked about wanting to smack the ugly cunt around. We joked. She even said it, joked about wanting to, not even to her, to a friend. Joked about it. Joking about it is not the same as doing it, especially if it's not directed at the person in question. Again, not actual evidence of DA presented. He joked about burning and raping her dead body in a text sent to his friend and fellow actor Paul Bettany. Joked about essentially quoting Monty Python from the Holy Grail and adding on the bit at the end. The trial also revealed that Depp spent a lot of time with Marilyn Manson, a man who has been accused of rape by several women. Accused, again, that's going to be interesting. One of these several women who filed a lawsuit against Marilyn Manson had her case thrown out with prejudice, which means she cannot refile the case for lack of evidence. Yeah, so one of those people who accused Marilyn Manson has already had her case thrown out for lack of evidence. But yeah, so spending time with someone who's accused of something means you're doing this, apparently. So Depp spending a lot of time with Marilyn Manson. Is that actual evidence presented in the courtroom that Johnny Depp is guilty of DA or SV? Don't really think so. And Marilyn Manson, and who is suing one of them for defamation. Like Depp, Manson denies the allegations. And hopefully in the next year or so, we'll be able to get to the bottom of that. Okay. Legal Mindset's very heated over in his stream, and it's too early for that. Okay. I don't know what he's heated about, but probably not without good reason. And I'm not heated yet. I'm getting there. Getting heated will come with the next article. That one's a doozy. Stay tuned. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We're doing well. Heard's every gesture has been analyzed and scrutinized. Depp's odd behavior, not so much. The actor smiled, grinned, and snacked on candy throughout the trial. She was snacking too. She was smiling, grinning, and smirking, giving evil eyes. Depp is either an abuser or a victim of it. Yeah, they could be both. The jury's going to decide. Could be both. But his body language throughout is excruciating. This excruciating ordeal has remained casual, even cheerful. It would be hard to imagine Heard getting away with similar, even seeming nonchalance. Well, she's the defendant. She should look concerned, and she has her own. She should be looking more nonchalant and more hard. I mean, I don't care about the behavior in court. I mean, what Johnny's doing, he's just sitting there. He finds things she says funny occasionally. He snacks on things. Everybody's snacking, and just in case, I've got my emergency verdict gummy bears lined up to share with Johnny Depp, and my Maker's Mark over there. I will have a shot of that if the verdict comes. So somehow it's a horrible thing that we're analyzing her every gesture, because his gestures are normal. Hers are weird. The things she does are weird. And the things that Johnny Depp does is Johnny Deppy, if that makes any sense. He's just been himself from the whole thing. He's just weird to begin with. I mean, so what are you gonna do? So, okay, he did this weird thing. Okay, that's Johnny Depp. He does weird things. Ultimately, the jury will decide whom they believe is telling the truth. But I'm less interested. God, this triggers me way bad. But I'm less interested in whether Heard is a liar and more interested in why so many people are gleefully invested in the idea that she might be a liar. That annoys the fuck out of me, that someone would not be interested in whether Heard is a liar. Millions of people seem suddenly interested in domestic violence. Suddenly interested. You want us to be interested or not? Do you want men to be interested in the issue of DV or not? But why are we interested? But only because there's a chance a scorned and vengeful woman might be lying about it. Fair enough. And I think I agree. We're interested because someone has been lying. One of these two, these stories are diametrically opposed to each other. One of these two is a huge liar. And we get to see who the jury thinks it might be. Being wrongly accused of rape is astonishingly rare. Oh, it's not that astonishingly rare. I'm sure there's some statistics here, but forget it. It's not as astonishingly rare as people might think. There's lots of defense lawyers who could tell you that. In fact, it rarely ever happens. Again, rarely. I'm just like wondering if I click on this, if it's going to give us numbers, but I don't want to waste the time. The majority of SA is not reported most of the time. Majority? I just don't know. I don't have the statistics, so I can't comment on that. But I do know there's a lot that goes unreported. Innocent men rarely get accused of. No. But the Depp case, go to a divorce court and see how many men are accused, especially when it's in a child custody dispute. Go see how many men are devastated by those kind of allegations. And it's happening more and more. I think we're definitely in the upswing. That's my personal opinion without looking at numbers. That now as people become more and more woke, that a bad date can be reported as SA. But the ongoing mythology around false accusations prevents a lot of survivors from getting justice. Innocent men rarely get accused of abuse, but the Depp case could give the public more reason to believe the opposite. Right here at the end. To an outsider, Heard and Depp's relationship seems tumultuous. Seems. No, yeah, it really was tumultuous, volatile, and at times even violent. Who do we have on record being the one that is violent? There's one person that repeatedly has been called out as being violent on the audio tapes and video, and that would be her. Just saying. But calling their dynamic, quote, mutual as it was during the trial, perpetuates the same kind of stereotypes that keep abusers in control. Well, what if it was mutual? I mean, if it was mutual, does calling it mutual somehow take away from the fact that it happened? Does it somehow lessen the victimhood of the woman or the man in that situation? I don't understand this. By calling something mutual, it perpetuates the same kind of stereotypes that keep the people in control. It's dangerous because it doesn't exist. Mutual A doesn't exist. Oh, hell no. Yes, it does. I have friends who are they are mutually that way to each other, and sometimes we just have to keep our distance from them because we don't want to get involved, and they don't want to help. The codependency is real out there. This idea that mutual combat does not happen is ridiculous. I mean, that's just a ridiculous statement. At the core of an A relationship is a power imbalance that is created and sustained by a pattern of domination and control. Spreading this term is a gift to A's because it distorts the true nature of the relationship by minimizing what they've done. I would say that is generally the way it goes. But to say that there is no such thing as mutual combat is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. While the throngs of Depp fans may believe that they've picked the right side in this trial, they are also enabling damaging stereotypes about survivors. If this did not happen to her, she is not a survivor. You're just presupposing and prejudging that this actually happened the way she said it happened, despite the lack of evidence. And that's why I say it's not a matter of believe women or believe men or don't believe men or don't believe women. It's a matter of listen to people, listen to women, listen to all women all the time, and investigate. That is something I feel we can all get behind is listen to an alleged victim, listen to their story, and then see where the facts and evidence lie. The public humiliation of Heard will only make victims more afraid to come forward. No matter who wins this lawsuit, it feels as if we have already lost. We've got the vapors. No matter who wins, we have already lost. America, you're going to go down in flames. I've got the vapors, Lordy. No, that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. All right, let's catch up on this shit ton of I almost said pledge again, of donations. I've been saying pledge for so long now, and then suddenly it's become donations. Grumpy young man, thank you so much. Would be interested in hearing about how you ended up in Korea and how you went about learning Korean. Obviously, after the trial is done and dusted. Yeah, quickly. That was somewhere in yesterday's chat. I should make like a who am I and why am I here video. But yeah, short story. I came here when I was 19 to do missionary service. And then I came back as a student. Then I came back as a lawyer. So there we are. And how did I learn Korean? Just living here. I never took classes or anything. I just lived here and talked to people and lived in society and learned it. What do you got here? Kiwi guy. Kiwi thinker. Is that sync ad on the right really there? Must have missed something. Sorry. I'll say yes. I didn't put anything there. So if anybody saw anything anywhere, it was there. Male DV survivor here. This trial was important. Thank you. And I agree. The real Winslet fan. Thank you very much. Any ideas what you might cover after the case? Yes, I want to go back and do a section on some cross-examination in the ancient O.J. Simpson case, because as I've said before, Amber Heard's case, Camille Vasquez cross-examining Amber Heard, is the second best cross-examination I have ever personally witnessed. The number one cross-examination I've ever witnessed was the cross-examination of Dennis Fung by Barry Scheck, who is the head of the Innocence Project. His cross-examination of the LA criminologist Dennis Fung was fucking brutal. It was 8.5 days of just a beatdown. And there was some of these gotcha moments, but it was the slow burn leading up to these gotcha moments. So it's kind of hard to edit it down and sort of get the full impact of the flow. But yeah, that cross-examination went on for 8.5 days. it was pretty brutal. So I'll do that, and then we'll talk about some other historical cases and some other lawyers that I respect. One of them is Barry Scheck, and then there's going to be other trials. We'll start doing the Manson thing, the Marilyn Manson defamation complaint. I'm going to go over that very soon after the verdict comes in and we stop talking about it. So yeah, those are some of the things that are on the horizon. JZD Trade Law Nerd in Training. Hey there, found you through Ricada and love your early morning. Hi there, Milwaukee streams. Thanks for your take on the cases. For you, it's early morning. For me, it's 8:51 p.m. right now. So we're in the evening here in Korea. Alicia Behane says, thanks. Oh, thank you very much for your donation too. Thanks for all the legal info on this trial. Keep up the good work. I'm trying at the trial. Electrobeard, welcome. Thank you for the donation. Good morning from Tennessee. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome for the stream, and thank you for the donation. Cassandra S. Good morning, Cassandra S. Thank you for your donation. I really deeply appreciate it. Thank you for your commentary. You're very welcome. I've been watching trials since I was a kid, watching OJ every night. Dad was a lawyer. What's your specialty in law? I do mainly admiralty and maritime things with ship collisions, ship explosions, accidents, crew injuries, crew deaths, cargo damage, shipbuilding contracts, things like that. To some little bit of white collar crime my office works on. So yeah, that's kind of me. And like the O.J. Simpson trial thing, like I said, that's what we're going to get into. I was in law school during the O.J. Simpson trial, so I skipped a lot of law school to watch that, and I recorded a lot of video. That was an 11-month trial, and the jury, that was rough on the jury. I think 6 weeks is rough. Try 11 months. All right. Maya 4949, thank you very much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. And soak the gummy bears in the Maker's Mark. Oh, and hit the button, people. Yum. That would be a good. I'm gonna do that before Ricada stream starts. I'm gonna drop some gummy bears into some Maker's Mark. I like the way you think, Funeral Man 04. Thank you for the donation and the idea. And now let's see. Got to go back and catch up to where we were. We're definitely going to be soaking the gummy bears. Thank you for that idea. All right. Are we caught up? We are. Oh, no, we're not caught up. Jasper Cochran. Congrats on getting the sweet YouTube ads. And thank you for putting up with the sweet YouTube ads when you go back and rewatch this. And so everybody, again, now that we're caught up and we can move on to the blood pressure raising final article I wanted to get to. Again, thank you so much for being here, everybody. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I know my mods are telling you to do it. Listen to them. They're great people and they're better than me. So thanks mods. Thanks for all of you that are liking and subscribing. We're at 18,896 right now. Let's put us over the 19,000 mark. That needs 104, just 104 subscribers in the next hour. Let's do it. Come on. Give me the bump. Get down there. All righty. Let's see a few things here while I'm looking at the screen. Loving your content. Are you going to cover Korean cases in the future? Bullying, burning sun, political corruption? Yeah, if there's something interesting in Korea that comes around, I definitely will, because that would be kind of fun to do. I worked in shipping for 20 years, mainly on damages of containers and ships with a major French shipping company. I salute you from Malta. Malta is one of the lands of ship registry. So yeah, that's what I do. All right. It's time for the blood pressure to go up. Now this next article, we're going to read this together. I did not get very far, and just from this one sentence, I had to calm down for 2 days before I could readdress this. I got to a certain point in the article, and I'll tell you where when we get there. And then I had to close the damn article and turn it off because it just instantly enraged me way more than a newspaper or news article, or, I guess it's a journal in this case, it's Salon. It enraged me way more than it should have. So today, while I'm nursing the hangover, that's how much I drank last night. It's 9 p.m. and I still have a bit of a hangover. Here we go. This is an article from salon.com. Oh, we're at 18,899. Come on. One of you just hit that subscribe button and let me see the 18,900 just to make me happy. And then once you subscribe, you gotta wait a few minutes and then you can jump in on the conversation. All right. Ooh, wow. There we go. Just about closed the whole thing down. The leave studio is much too close to the share screen button. All right. Here we go. Where are we? Ugh. Oh, we got the 18,900. Whoever the last person was that subscribed, I love you. You are the man or the woman. Thank you so much. All right. Spooky Spoon says, let me take my pills. Yes, if anybody like me takes blood pressure pills, now's the time to do it. I thought I should have doubled up on mine today. Well, now, before we get, Jen makes an interesting comment here. Keep in mind, jury composed mostly of millennial woke Asians. We don't know if they're woke or based, but millennial Asians, in my opinion, young Asian who are probably do believe all women. But from what's going on inside the courthouse, the gist is there's only about one person that doesn't seem to be totally in the Depp camp. Maybe that changed, but yeah, there's from what they were witnessing, they all seem to be paying more attention to Johnny Depp and more respectful of Johnny Depp's testimony and more skeptical of hers. But here we are with this Salon article. Henry Bevan, thank you so much for your donation. My blood pressure is already rising from hearing it's a Salon article. Yeah. I understand that. That was kind of my feeling too when it happened. And let's enlarge this so we can read it. Get rid of this stupid box here. While we're on the subject of the Amber Heard trial and metadata and whether or not pictures have been photoshopped, I think there's been some retouching done to this picture. That's some pretty that's some pretty hairy airbrushing going on there. And I mean, even her face is a different shape than normal. So yeah, that's some photoshopping there. Not that that's good or bad. I'm just saying. All right, this is a lengthy article. So, and again, I have not totally read this article. So this is going to be a journey for both of us because I literally didn't get very far. With the Depp Heard trial, courtrooms television exploitative tricks reached new misogynist heights. How's that for a headline? Television's exploitative tricks reached new misogynist heights. In a subscriber-based news economy, the more spite-driven viewers who can be drawn in, the better for business. Hey, all of you spite-driven viewers that are donating and liking and subscribing, I like the cut of your jib. You're awesome. More spite-driven viewers for me, please. And even the ones that aren't driven by spite. Lauta McGannon. Or Lota McGannon. Sorry about that. I'm an idiot. Oh my, I can tell by the headline. This is going to be a shocker. Yup. Like I said. Well, let's see if you can guess where I dropped out of this article. When you think you get to the sentence where I just threw in the towel, say something in the chat. I'll kind of be trying to keep an eye on it while I read. Read with one eye and review with one eye. All right. If the trial of Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard had its own IMDb page listing everyone involved in a TV or movie production, it would certainly be a star-studded one. Considering the way in which the trial has been treated by television coverage of the court process as a juicy, highly sellable narrative affixed to a supposed pursuit of justice, it's a shock that it doesn't. An increasingly popular genre of television, courtroom broadcasting, seems to have seized its place in the broader media marketplace overnight with its wildly popular coverage of the Depp v. Heard trial. Judging by its impact on the public and pop culture in the last couple of months, The trial serves as a prime example of the way in which court-centric media needs to pathologize its subjects by design and maintains a fiduciary love of hating women. No, we're not there yet, but this a fiduciary love of hating women. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the court-centric media is feeding us this pathology, locking people into categories, and feeding us a love of hating women. Court television has unabashedly cashed in on a survivor's trauma. On a survivor's trauma. Who is the survivor that Salon is talking about, do we think? Who is the survivor that they're talking about? I mean, that makes a lot of assumptions. Again, this is a believe all women all the time and believe no man ever. So the author is just taking it as a given fact that there was a survivor, that she was a survivor who suffered trauma. So court television has cashed in on this survivor's trauma because it promises to yield high returns and large number of new subscribers. Guilty. I will unabashedly say that if it hadn't have been for the Amber Heard trial, this Johnny Depp v. Amber Heard trial, if it hadn't have been for this, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have had a channel here. Let's do this. Let's make it even bigger. That's what she said. Sorry, I was childish. But no, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this trial, because this was a Legal Mindset. Andrew and I getting really, really drunk together a couple of times, and him forcing me to do this. So I'm here because of the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. I'm going to stick around because, quite frankly, this is fun. Court television has unabashedly cast in. I gotta be doing that there. Yes. As an employee of one such station, I can attest to the fact that these networks have just as much to gain from this trial as Heard has to lose. Okay. The very minute the trial aired, the networks began cheering its newfound success. As a company that is relatively new on the media landscape, we had finally attained big viewership numbers to match those at major broadcast news outlets such as ABC, NBC, and CNN. A flurry of emails went out between executives on how to leverage our sudden blow up of numbers into future production deals with other networks, distribution companies, and streaming services, which then translated into these new projects, going from unpitched ideas to the throes of development stage, seemingly overnight. Yeah. So again, I mean, this is kind of weird that she's saying this about her company. She's saying the company I work for just cares about cashing in on abuse. That's kind of a good way to make sure you don't keep working for that company. On a more tangible level, viewership numbers manifested as financial figures equally quickly. A slew of raises were distributed to the upper echelons of our productions for reaching new milestones, as were accolades from such platforms as YouTube, Spotify, and SiriusXM for our high-performing content. Okay, so reporting news, reporting events gets you revenue. So what? Capitalism. Making money is not evil. Whatever. Official YouTube Creator Awards, known in the industry as play buttons, now adorn our office walls to celebrate the high number of subscribers that Amber Heard's personal testimony brought in. Well, I'm currently sitting at exactly 18,900 subscribers, and I need 21,100 more, not 21, geez, 81,900 more, 100 more. Fuck, I can't do math. Fuck it. I need a lot more to get to 100,000 to get my play button. So everyone pile on, subscribe like a mofo to me here, and get me on my way. So they've got high viewership. They've got the play buttons, and that's a bad thing, apparently. High number of subscribers that Amber Heard's personal testimony brought in, as if her words were somehow our creative achievement. No, you made the smart decision to play it. It's not your own creative achievement that she was saying that. You made the smart business decision to play the tapes, to play the audio, to show the trial. Likewise, the fact that our newly launched podcast overtook Serial on the Apple Podcast charts had been publicly lauded as a testament to our incredible followers, with no mention of the trauma that informs the narrative we are simply repackaging. Again, we're assuming that she has trauma to package in the first place. Let's get this out of the way. Sorry while I'm here. Torgon Scormhammer, thank you for the donation. Super sticker. Awesome. Thank you so much. Let's jump back into this. This will be fun. With no mention of the trauma that we're just naturally supposed to assume exists. Right on then. From a business standpoint, this trial has been an excellent investment. It's going to be over. So if we want to feature criticism of Heard's failure to donate her prior $3.5 million settlement towards domestic violence causes, though, it only seems fair for us to also consider donating part of the sizable profit we've made in a few short weeks to similar organizations. If your company wants to donate their profit that they've made from broadcasting this trial, go ahead. That would be an incredibly laudable thing to do. That would be incredibly generous of your company for doing that. Nobody's stopping them. Unfortunately, that is unlikely to happen. This sounds like someone who doesn't want to work for this company much longer. I mean, this doesn't sound like someone who likes their job. Unfortunately, that is unlikely to happen, as the profit gained has already been wholly subsumed by executive bonuses, new equipment purchases, and the launch of a brand new podcast to exclusively cover the trial for those less interested in our unfiltered daytime television broadcast. Over the span of this trial, the same combination of influence and celebrity appeal that once fueled the onset of the Me Too movement has flipped its allegiances to now actively counter the provision of safe spaces for survivor testimony. Heard's op-ed was once a part of the hashtag Me Too movement, whereas now it is figured as central to the movement's demolition. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? And again, we have to make the assumption that she actually suffered these things before we can even get onto this. Whose fault is it that Me Too? If this happened, then that's a different story. But as high profile as the Aquaman star was before the trial opened, how high profile was Amber Heard before this trial opened? To be honest, I did not know her name until this trial stuff started happening. I just knew her as Johnny Depp's ex-wife. And I didn't know she was this actress. I mean, the movies, people say, oh, she was in this movie and she was in this movie. I'm like, who was she? And they go, oh, it was her. I'll go, oh, okay. But yeah, she wasn't that high profile, which is why her comparing herself with Jason Momoa, Chris Pine, Zendaya and Gal Gadot is just ludicrous. And I didn't know that was her in Aquaman. So I'm going, oh, that's her. I went, all right, okay, fine. As high profile as the Aquaman star was, I don't think she was the star of Aquaman. Even Johnny Depp's making fun of her being in Aquaman. Heard is currently known by way of the mocking memes and clickbait takes that now flood every corner of the internet. Sorry. It's deserved. You go up there and you lie on the stand, you falsify events, that's going to happen. They pick apart her overreactions, her underreactions, and her choices of words. Outlets such as the Daily Wire have used her anguished face as a platform for ads discrediting her words. And even makeup companies have tossed their opinions into the ring via TikTok smear videos. We all know what that's talking about. That's the makeup kit, the bruise kit issue that they said during opening statements. She's carried this makeup kit around with her from the very beginning so she can hide the bruises on the face. And the makeup company coming out and saying, sorry, that product didn't exist when this happened. Just the makeup company standing up for their product and making a definitive statement so they don't get improperly sucked into this shit show that is this trial, just them coming out and going, no, that wasn't our product because that product didn't exist back in the day. That is now makeup companies tossing their opinions into the ring via TikTok smear videos. That wasn't a smear video. That was we appreciate you using our product, but that didn't exist back in the day. Ugh. Even respected individuals in our newsroom, which likes to think of itself as one of journalistic integrity, she doesn't like her job. She doesn't want to keep working for these people. We're circulating falsified accounts of Heard's opening statements amongst themselves. Several of them fully bought the talented Mr. Ripley line-by-line comparison that has since been discredited as if they had not themselves reported on that day in court. Now, they didn't say she did a line-by-line ripoff of the talented Mr. Ripley. The assertion was that she took that scene and paraphrased it and made it part of her statement. Let's get into these here real quick so we can take a break. Sparkpoint Media, thank you so much for the donation. Found you on Nick's channel. You're a great addition to the team. The lack of perspective. An author from Salon is complaining about cashing in with packaging and others' pain is where I would drop. That was close. Disorganic, thank you for your donation. As a woman raised by OG feminist parents in the 60s and 70s, I am horrified by the media's recent excretions. Genitalia has no bearing on your ability to A or B aid. Thanks for your coverage. You're welcome, and thank you for the donation. Mike, thank you so much. Saw you on Ricada, and you mentioned Hooker Hill and Itaewon. Yep. I was in the Army, and my first duty station was Yongsan, right there at the base of Itaewon and Hooker Hill in 2012, and you brought back a lot of memories when you mentioned them. If you were there in the winter, it was the Hooker bowling, when they would wear the slick leather bottom platform shoes on a hill that's about a 35-degree angle. When it gets frozen, people slide. So yeah, glad to bring back the memories of Itaewon. It's been gentrified now. So the only reason that Heard's demure side part and puritanical blouses are so easily recognizable and memeable is because our network filmed them and then made a point to re-air them again and again. Puritanical blouses. That's exactly what she wanted you to think. She wanted you to think they were puritanical blouses. And so therefore they wanted you to think she was puritanical and could never do these things. Because the networks had the foresight to know that her anguished face would make for a great foundation for internet jokes, we spoon-fed it to the public to do with whatever they wanted. Court television, both as a genre of entertainment and as a rapidly growing business venture, understands this proliferation of mockery to be nothing more than a great opportunity to capture the ever-growing attention of tormentors eager to launch hate towards an imperfect woman. Now remember, that imperfect woman line is straight from the mouth of her PR team. That came straight from her new PR team that she fired her old ones and hired the new ones right in the middle of the trial. And that very next weekend, the term imperfect victim started showing up everywhere. It even showed up in Dr. Nosferatu, Dr. Eyebrows, Dr. Crazy's testimony when he called her an imperfect victim. This imperfect woman, imperfect victim thing is literally words from the mouth of Amber Heard's publicity team. So yeah, its editorial approach and production strategies have matched this bloodthirsty attitude every step of the way. Amber Heard's crime was articulating in detail what she believes to be the narrative of her own body. Court television's crime is taking that narrative and retooling it to fit an image of salaciousness more in line with a made-for-TV movie than a trauma unfolding in real life. That's where I threw in the towel. That's where I threw in the towel. She was articulating in detail the narrative of her own body, and we were just making a salacious made-for-TV movie. Ugh. So from here on out, we're reading a new article. This is a new one on me. You're getting my new reactions to this article I have not read from here on out. If Amber Heard's crime, yeah, we got that. All right, here we go. None of this should come as a surprise, however, as this move is exactly what court television as a genre of entertainment was always designed to do. Infuse traditional reporting with extreme yet scintillating exploitation that is tough to turn off and uncomfortable to think critically about. Now, if I had my choice, I think it should, like someone like Court TV or the Lon Cuck, they I would like to see a channel that is only just straight court cams. That's why I say that every courtroom should be streaming every trial onto some platform or other where we can watch it, we can view it without the commentary. I mean, it's fun to be part of the commentary. It's fun to listen to commentary. It's fun to read commentary. But I think we need just a place where you can just go just to watch trials and watch hearings without the talking heads being involved, because how it is when you watch it that way and how you watch it when it's part of streams like this is a different experience, and it does allow you to think more critically about it rather than listening to what someone else is telling you to think about it. Court television's whole premise is to invite viewers into the courtroom process, not to respectfully observe or even to righteously whistleblow, but rather to jeer, to poke fun at, and to feel morally superior to those on the stand. Is that really the whole premise of court TV? Court television, not necessarily court TV, trademark. Is that the whole purpose, the whole premise of court television? Is to poke fun at people, to jeer at them, and to feel morally superior? That's not why I watch it. I watch it because I think it's fascinating to see justice as it happens. I think it's fascinating to see people, how they act and how they support their claims and things like that. It's just this jeering, poking fun at, and feeling morally superior to Amber Heard is just kind of a fun byproduct of what's gone on. It takes our right to engage with the American judicial system authentically and productively as invested onlookers and warps it into a parade of crime on display for misinformed judgment and misplaced aggression. So all of you out there, all 565 of you that are watching me at the moment, how do you feel about participating in this parade of crime? And how do you feel about being told you have misinformed judgment and misplaced aggression? Wait, that was a really nice watch. Where'd that go? ADHD alert. Let's get clear these two things here so I don't have to make people wait too long. Let's be real. Thank you very much for the donation. Are you going to stop drinking on live monetize now? No, of course not. It's nighttime. Just not today, because last night hit it pretty hard, and I have a Saturday appointment lined up that I already know how it's going to end. So I'm going to be dry for a couple of days to clear out the system and to brace myself for Saturday. But no, I'm not going to stop. That's what I do. That's my Instagram, Whiskey Guy Korea. That's what I do. I've got all that back there to go to. Hell no, I'm not going to stop drinking on air. But now smoking is a different thing. Apparently the monetization gods don't like tobacco products. So yeah, that one I'm going to have to think about, but not going to stop drinking on here. Don't worry. Don't panic. I'm not that crazy. You've got to tell me how to pronounce your first name. Loasha, McGannon. Thank you. I'm sorry. This article is so bad. I need a mega pint and I don't even drink. Yes. And in case you all missed it, a couple of days ago when we were watching Johnny Depp assault his cabinets for the 800th time, and we freeze framed it, it looked like the mega pint glass he was holding was an old-fashioned mason ball jar on top of an exquisite looking wine cup stand. And I asked if that was real, and I soon got a link for the Etsy where it's at, And now I have my very own authentic mega pint glasses on the way to me here. And that'll be fun when I get those. That's what I'll be using from here on forever and ever and ever, as long as I'm doing this YouTube thing, is the new mega pint glasses when they get here. Okay, before we jump back in again, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I greatly, deeply appreciate it. And you're all wonderful for sticking around. You're all wonderful being here. And I wouldn't be here without you. So thank you. Thank you. Let's see if we can get 97 more people here in the next 25, 30 minutes or so. There's 580 of you here. I assume that some of you haven't subscribed. If you haven't, please do. It would mean a ton to me. I don't grift for money consciously, but I do grift for subs because subs are cool. You validate me. You just forget I'm human, as Amber says. All right, here we go. Dive back into this subscriber-based news economy. In a subscriber-based news economy, the more spite-driven viewers can be drawn in, the better for business. Already, there have been discussions amongst executives at the network about how to keep our number up, since we've already become accustomed to the extra cash flow. She does not like her company. We've already become accustomed to the extra cash flow this recent boom has brought upon our office. Has been brought upon your office? Oh dear, we are being cursed with more money than we know what to do with. That'd be nice. The generally accepted solution is to keep selling Heard's story in different but still relatable genres, a reflective miniseries, a made-for-TV movie, and even a reality show. Oh, an Amber Heard reality show. Holy Christ, that would... Think about that for a minute. Cameras following Amber Heard around. Oh, my Lord. Wow. The pipeline between real courtroom events and their soapy spin-offs is a direct one. Of course it is. Of course it is. You see a trial, it's cool. You know, there's a cool crime involved. There's cool allegations involved. Something, yeah, that's what Hollywood does. That's what TV does. You make shit about it and people watch it. The case of Depp v. Heard in particular has everything off of which court television thrives, plus a handful of bonus celebrity sightings. The video footage of Heard cuddling with James Franco in an elevator added an intriguing air of adultery to Heard's image. An intriguing air of adultery? Well, hey, I got a video of Heard committing adultery with James Franco. While WandaVision star Paul Bettany's text to Depp referencing her burned corpse came off as more absurdist body horror than authentic dialogue. That's because that's what it was. It was absurdist body horror. It was not authentic dialogue between Depp and Bettany. That was exactly what it was. See, you got this. She's got this. I'm sorry. I assumed that the author, I don't even know who authored this. I didn't even look. I assumed it was a female. Sorry. The author of this got it right, but didn't realize they got it right. Ugh. That's exactly what it was. The reference to her burned corpse and the reference to the back of a Honda Civic and all these. That's exactly what it was. It was absurdist language, not authentic dialogue, for fuck's sake. The goal of court television has always been entertainment, not realistic or investigative coverage. Again, I don't know if you show a trial, it's, you know. Meanwhile, the drugs and alcohol at the center of many of the fights between Depp and Heard during their marriage should make both of them unreliable narrators. Yes, I think because of the amount of alcohol and drugs consumed by both parties, even though Heard denies taking drugs, unless drugs to Heard are bad drugs. Happy things, you know, the mushrooms. I mean, those aren't drugs to her. Those are what you call them, like cuddle pills or, you know, happy pills, happy shrooms, some shit like that. Yes, so you should be skeptical of both parties due to the fact that when a lot of these events were happening, they were both high and or drunk as fuck. So yes, be skeptical. Be skeptical of them. But yet in the public eye, that characterization seems always to stick more to Heard than it does to Depp. Why is that? Why does it stick more to her than it does to him? Because he has evidence to back it up. He has witnesses to back it up. She's got shit. She's got nothing. He beat the crap out of me for 3 days in Australia. He drugged me through broken glass. I was slipping on broken glass. He was shoving my face into a wall. He was, but here's a picture of him sleeping. Here's a picture of a broken bed. Yeah, he shoved my face into the blankets and was kneeing me in the back and rabbit punching me repeatedly and endlessly in the back of the head, pulling out clumps of hair. He was doing it so violently that he chipped a piece of wood off the bed and there was blood all over the pillows and everything. So I took a picture of the broken bed. Not the blood-soaked pillows, the bed. He beat me for, however long straight. And here's a picture of him sleeping. So that proves he did. I mean, that is why nobody is believing her. That is why she is an unreliable narrator. Unreliable because there's no witness. There's no evidence. If you have evidence, if you have witnesses, then you become a reliable narrator because something and or someone is backing up your story. She doesn't have it. Therefore, she is unreliable. Graphic pictures of Heard's bruises. Okay. The only reason I'm still reading this now is because you're all here. I would have stopped reading it again at this. Graphic pictures of Heard's bruises. Good God. What graphic pictures of Heard's bruises are we talking about? The 2-week-old bruise on her arm that may or may not be a bruise that doesn't look anything like a grab or a punch bruise. That one, or the light shading on the cheek, is that the graphic picture? Or is it the what I believe to be Botox injection bruises? Are those the graphic pictures that have been reduced to nothing more than a conversation about iPhone camera metadata? It's reduced to that because metadata is fucking important. It is essential in proving that the evidence is legit. The metadata will tell you when, where, and how the pictures were taken. What camera, what the f-stop was, the date, the time. It will tell you everything. And without that metadata, that brings the picture itself into question. The veracity of the picture is in question if you cannot look at the data buried in the ones and zeros of the data of the image to see when, where, and how it was taken. So that's why these pictures of bruises, if she had the metadata and it backed up her claim, then it wouldn't be about the iPhone camera metadata. It would be about the bruising. And when you take the same picture with the contrast and lighting bumped up on one and not on the other, and you try to pass them off as two separate pictures, even though they are, that's when the metadata said that they had the same file name and they were taken at the exact same instant. You try to pull that shit and you're busted for being a liar. That's not a mistake. That's a lie. And that gets you busted. That's what that's about. So that's why these graphic pictures have been reduced to nothing more than metadata, because metadata has proven she's a liar, and the ones that she hasn't been proven to be a liar on, the metadata is conveniently unavailable. While Depp fan stands outside the courtroom yelling, "Justice for Johnny," and point to how kind he was in prior relationships 20 years ago. Forget 20 years ago. Any other woman in his 58 years of life. The only woman that has come forward and said anything bad or even the hints of abuse by Johnny was Ellen Barkin. And her testimony was she was standing in a room with a bunch of other people that were having some kind of discussion or debate or argument with Johnny Depp, and he had a bottle in his hand, and he kind of tossed the bottle in their general direction and left the room. Didn't throw it at anybody, didn't hit anybody, didn't throw it. He just kind of tossed it and walked out of the room. That is the worst thing they could get any previous woman in his life to say. That is hugely telling. Meanwhile, even Amber's friends are saying she's unstable and she has these problems. And her own sister has said she suffered at the hands of her. All right. Inner peace. Inner peace. Inner peace. Lawata. Boom. Thank you. I'm sorry to make you pay for that, but thank you. I owe you one. Lawata. I'm going to remember that. Lawata McGannon. Thank you. Thank you so much. And apologies for butchering your name repeatedly. Sigrid S. Thank you. Thank you. Legal Vices. No. Thank you. Hope there is a verdict today. Oh, me too, because I A, want to sleep, and B, I want to move on to other things. All right. We're into the home stretch, I hope. This is a Salon article, so it tends to... Okay. Yeah, we're not too much further to go. Awesome. And then we'll let you go, and you can move on to greener pastures and see what happens. Where are we? I've lost myself. We're past that. So spite-driven discussions, executives, custom cash. Made for TV. Huh. James Franco. So, there we are. I think we're just past this bump. Yep. Okay. Is that where we were? Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Reboot and move on. And just real quickly, want to say thank you to, I'll call you Maya 4949 again for the awesome donation. I hope you wanted to say something. I'm sorry if you didn't get to say something you wanted to. Apologies, but thank you so much. It's deeply appreciated. And moving along. During his first time on the stand, Depp characterized Heard as the perfect partner for the first few months of their marriage before transforming into someone else entirely. In hearing him say as much, it's as though he's describing a fairy tale rather than an authentic account of an, in fact, very real relationship. Okay, so now why is it we're trivializing and not believing a true victim who is telling the story of her own body? Why is that not a fairy tale? But Johnny Depp saying, hey, I loved this chick, fell in love with her. And then she went batshit. We had this rocky relationship, and then we got married. She was cool for a few months, and then she turned into somebody else entirely. Why is that a fairy tale? In his testimony, he is leaning on the same formula so often used in fiction. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Why do you think it's used in fiction? Because it's used in reality. Whatever this formula may be, let's find out. He's leaning on the same formula so often used in fiction, where there must be a perfect good guy and a very imperfect villain. Imperfect villain. See that imperfect is coming in again. No partner is perfect, though. Yes, that is true. Congratulations for getting one sentence that I have no problem with. Still, court television's coverage of the trial has used the same playbook and clung to all the imperfections as they arose with the intensity of a sports match. But if this was the other way around, don't you if Johnny was the one that didn't have any evidence to support his side and had no corroborating witnesses and no friends, and Amber Heard was the one with all the friends and witnesses, what do you think the courtroom would be doing? They would be destroying him. They would be crawling up his ass. They would be devastating. They would nuke him as hard and as fast as they possibly could. And would this article have still been written about him? I don't think so. And physical trauma, already too often used as a storytelling device by both fictional and non-fictional media alike. If it's non-fictional media, then it's not really a storytelling device, is it? And has been distilled into its purest form in this trial through firsthand accounts, contradicting testimonies, and scathing character witnesses. If the classic court procedure dramas, a la Law and Order, tend to hinge their plot lines on the unveiling of trauma, that's the whole point of Law and Order and the SV unit, Anyway, so if the classic court procedural dramas, all Law and Order, tend to hinge their plot lines on unveiling of trauma, court television does the same, only with even less control over the presentation due to its live streamed format. Should there be any control over a live streamed format? I mean, should we just, where we have a right to be in the courtroom and we're interested in the case and we're interested in how it's going? Do we want someone to step in and go, oh, we have to control how this is being presented, rather than putting a dead camera on it and just walking away? Whatever controls there is to be had by producers, editors, camera operators, etc., is wielded to amplify the faults of the defendant. No. And pathologize their position, rather than to approach them with real compassion as real human beings forced to navigate a hellish experience. Not all the time. It could, if the claimant sucked, then yeah, they would focus that same thing in that same way on the claimant. But this is just amber, because it's there to falsify. It's there to point out, oh, well, that was nice. Hello. What's this? Wow. Guess we here we have an advertisement. Let's see. I brought up an advertisement on my screen and I can't get back to my regular screen. How awesome is that? Let me see. Where are we at? There we are. Got us back. Sorry. You all missed a really nice advertisement for a lovely jar of olives that I clicked on. Whatever. Okay. We have a several second camera and audio lag time meant to provide a quick buffer during which we can choose not to air certain graphic descriptions or images, yet rarely do we ever seem to utilize it. So she wants to say, okay, here is something in the trial, this public trial that we all have a right to see. Here is something that we as the editors have determined you should not see. So if you take somebody out of the trial, if you just say, okay, here's an important thing we don't want you to see, that would piss me off a lot more. That would be wrong. That would be unethical. Instead, it becomes fodder for B-roll and high-performing tweets. Slices of Heard looking angry or upset are favorites. Hey, they make good thumbnails for my videos. Thanks. As are anything, whether either her graphic essay or the holes in her narrative. Her graphic essay claim, well, again, you're just assuming it actually happened, or the holes in her plot. Kate Moss's testimony that Heard was wrong to bring up rumors of violence circulating her and Depp's relationship in the 90s was played on repeat all afternoon and the following morning. Yeah, you brought it up. The person who it was about came and said, bullshit. It's going to get repeated all afternoon because you lied. You're on the stand claiming $100 million from somebody, and you lied about it. You lied about the events. That should be played all day. You should never live that down. Sadly, this format fits all too well into a broader pattern of adjudicating the bodies of vulnerable individuals in our court system today. The fact that the takedown of Heard's survivor story happens to be playing out simultaneously to the imminent Supreme Court overthrow of Roe v. Wade adds an eerie realness to its outcome. Oh dear, this next sentence. If a beautiful, white, cis Hollywood celebrity doesn't even have control over the way her body is discussed in court, what chance does any other woman have of their bodies being treated with dignity in such a space? Oh my Lord, that is a sentence. Oh my Lord. If a beautiful, white, cis Hollywood celebrity doesn't even have control over the way her body is discussed in court, what chance does any other woman have, oh my God, of their bodies being treated with dignity in such a space? Well, how about don't lie? There's a good way to start to prevent it. Court television prides itself on spinning justice into watchable media. The depiction of justice should be at the forefront of producers and editors' mind. You don't know what justice is until the jury comes back. And then you have to decide, do you agree with them and think that's a just outcome or not? You can't predetermine. You can't prejudge what justice is while it's going on. as they go through booking guests and writing anchor scripts. It is, after all, the number one commodity the network purports to sell. Yet it's nothing more than a common commodity when aired on TV. How can justice ever really be prioritized in a system that functions off of the currency of ratings and where the content needs to follow public opinion enough to capture its attention? I hate Salon a lot. I should have known. I should have known not to do this. So yeah, we have this commodity, which is apparently selling injustice. Justice and entertainment rarely, if ever, coincide, seeing as the former is supposed to be truth-based and the latter necessitates significant editorializing. Moreover, the question of whether or not one can ever really ascertain justice when it comes to situations of trauma is an important one that gets intentionally ignored by those in charge of production and executive decisions within the court television industry. That may be a viable statement. That may be a viable point. A conclusive truth is not easy to determine, as the reality of trauma relies on a number of factors, including the survivor's upbringing, past history of relationships, ability to consent, and positioning within various power structures. But good stories need satisfying endings. Speaking of satisfying endings, we are almost at the unsatisfying ending of this one here. All right, we skipped over it again. I really need to stop doing this. But I think that's a good point. Justice is hard to determine. That's why we have evidence. You have to use the evidence to get as close as you can to the truth. Additionally, what kind of witnesses are really appropriate to call to the stand when attempting to adjudicate trauma? Typically, any witness you freaking want. That is the kind of witnesses. You can't say, there are times when witnesses aren't allowed to testify. But if there's any relevance in their testimony, of course, call them to the stand for your case. I mean, that's ludicrous. All right, we got to get through this. We're running out of time. Deep breath. Typically, trial lawyers will call who they see fit to carry out justice for their clients, however questionable they may be. Again, are we talking about Johnny Depp here? The network, on the other hand, invites innumerable other unvetted voices to weigh in, purely as a means to build up sensationalism and continue the dialogue in such a way that will make for engaging TV. Choose to watch it or don't choose to watch it. Simple. In the case of the trial of Depp v. Heard, where witnesses include a slew of other celebrities and fellow media executives from TMZ and Warner Brothers, both lineups seem to have converged. Well, there wasn't going to be a TMZ witness until Amber Heard made it necessary to bring in a TMZ witness. Morgan Tremaine, a former journalist from TMZ, testified in the past week about exclusive photos and video footage that had been obtained by the publication depicting Depp and Heard's explosive fighting at the height of their marriage turmoil. At one point, when courtroom television leans on the investigative findings of tabloid culture to draw its conclusions, the distinction between trauma peddling and justice seeking was officially folded. No, she was there because Amber Heard made comments about her not doing this, her not leaking this, and being from Johnny Depp and not knowing how they got a hold of it. Well, they brought in someone to say, no, this is how she got a hold of it. If she doesn't talk about that, he doesn't come to testify. A lot of my coworkers are waiting anxiously for the verdict, due by the end of next week. Really, though, the verdict doesn't matter. Yeah, I think it would. I think it would matter. The verdict doesn't matter. Sure. Depp has already won in the eyes of the media, which is an outcome pushed forth by courtroom coverage that was so sympathetic to what he had to say because it made for high ratings. Oh, for God's sake, if Amber Heard had been credible in her case and they were going to destroy Johnny Depp, you would have seen ratings even much higher than are going on now. I guarantee you that if there was salacious details about the horrible stuff that Johnny allegedly did and they were supported by video and pictures and whatnot, yeah, you would have seen high ratings. He was good at telling a story that the public was primed to believe. The public was primed to hand him his ass. The public was not primed to believe him. The public was primed against him. And court television couldn't have been happier to provide him a platform with which to do so. Dun, dun, dun. The freaking end of this article written by Elise Gubitosi. So that's what's kind of been going on in the world of news and excitement and entertainment in the few days we've been off. But now we're getting ready to go into court, and we've got a few. I think I've got all of these starred. Let's go through these again. People, like and subscribe to the channel if you want to. That would make me very happy. We're at 18,904. We didn't get to the 19,000 like I wanted to today, but whatever. It doesn't matter in the scheme of things. But I do appreciate all of the likes and subscribes that you care to give me, and I'll take them gladly. Judith Taylor. Oh my God, Judith, thank you for this donation. Welcome to the monetized world. Thank you for your work. No, thank you for that. I deeply appreciate it. Veridiana Carvalho. Thank you. Hello from Brazil. Legal Vices rocks. I would have to agree with you. Thank you. I am pregnant man. New profile pic. Old one was cool. Did YouTube get mad? Oh no, this was one of the LawTube people. They drew this for all of the LawTube guys, and I kind of liked it. I like the old sailor one too, but I thought it was kind of cute, so I put it up there. No scandal there. I liked my old picture too. That was an accidentally cool picture. But yeah, this is one that a viewer drew and made for all of the law tubers. So I thought it was kind of cool. So I just put it up there. Thank you for your donation, by the way. Avery Johnson, thank you. Getting ready to lift, so I'll only be able to listen. If you're going to be on Nick's stream later, I hope so. I haven't looked to see if he sent me a link yet or not. But if he does, I'll be there. Could you have him call me a bitch while lifting for motivation? Just a second. Call Avery Johnson a bitch while lifting. Okay. Will do. That has been written down. If not, then you can. Well, I'm not going to call you a bitch because you're lifting. I'm the bitch that needs to lift. So yeah, I'm the lazy bitch for not lifting. Tina Scott, thank you so much. So proud for you. Came over from Ricada. Cool. I'm going to let you go back over to Ricada because hopefully that's where I'll be. Thank you so much for the donation, as always. Shelly Stewart, thank you. Thank you so much. I love your voice, and you should read all news articles for me. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't know if people like to listen to me read news articles, but those were just some ones that I thought were interesting over the past few days. But thank you for your comment. That was so sweet, and thank you for the donation. Oh, Carrie Collins, thank you again for your marvelous donation here. Hi, Jeff. My first SC for you. Thank you so much. I have thoroughly enjoyed your commentary on RL. Ricade is a good guy. Happy for you, and thank you so much. And really, I do appreciate your generosity. The Real Winslet fan again says, this article hath caused me to rend my garment. Yeah, as I said, I had to do it in 2 stages. I just couldn't do it. And we have got here, what here? LDG, trying to spread the word. Do you have Twitter? Yes, I do have Twitter. I know I need to put this in my video description. Again, I just need some time to do it. People yell at me all the time. But yes, my Twitter is The Legal Vices. My email and my Twitter are The Legal Vices. So thank you for your donation. Loata McGannon. This simultaneously made my day and hurt my brain. Yeah, it can do that. All righty. And we will take this one last one here from Naughty86. Hi from Australia. Just a little tip for the good work. Thank you so much. It is deeply appreciated. You're a great addition to Nick's stream. You seem to fit in well. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We've got to we get along pretty well. I like everybody. And Derek 6, keep up the great work. Thank you for the donation, and I certainly will. I'll be here as long as you want me to be here. But again, we've got 10 minutes left. I deeply appreciate all of you being here. And wow, 3 of you have unsubscribed. Shame on you. We're 18,902 for the end of the day. Take care, and we will see you probably tomorrow. We'll have to see how it goes. Thank you for coming. Thank you for all the donations, and God bless all of my awesome moderators, or whatever deity you happen to be up there, or the universe. Thank you, moderators, for doing an awesome job. I love all of you, and I appreciate your sacrifice that you make for me. Until next time, take care, enjoy yourself, and enjoy your legal vices.